Assignment two. Okay, so this is where we're at. Assignment two. So we're going to do this. We're going to load the libraries, which we kind of already did, but we're going to pull the relevant materials into the scene, into that compact material editor. That's that little palette. Assign materials, adjust the coordinates, create a couple cameras, place them, and render them. So let's do it. So here's what we did last time. Here's what we're going to do here. So we're going to go to Get Materials and go and open Material Libraries. So you're going to open the Architecture and Environment Material Libraries. I've already got those open in here. That's good. I'm going to close some of these other ones just so we can see it a little more easily. So in the Architecture Material Library, I'm going to pull over ones that I think I might want to use. The one I want to really point out is this wood veneer. The wood veneer material, I'm going to click and drag and put that right here. The wood veneer material has maps in the diffuse, reflect, and reflect glossy spots. And it has this at a 0.7. Subdivisions are 16. They probably need to be turned up for a final render, but for now we're going to leave that. For now, reflections are turned on. All this stuff is preset for you. So the nice thing about the way this particular material set, you double click and get a bigger preview, is that all the maps are linked. So if I go down here to my maps, all of these are linked to these together. So there's only one JPEG that makes the whole material. And V-Ray materials are fairly complex, so to be able to do this takes some time to set up. So I would encourage you to use this material for a lot of materials since it's set up. So if you wanted to make another material, all you do is go into the diffuse, click on this map, scroll down to the bitmap parameters. There it is. Click there, and then you can switch it out to another one. So there should be other kinds of wood. There are concretes. There are ground covers, metals, plaster, all kinds of stuff that you can do to change out. So that's just a note so that's a good material. I'm going to bring over a few others just so I have them. I know that, if I look around the model, I think there are some things that I know I'm going to need. I'm probably going to need concrete as a wall. I think there is an epoxy floor, epoxy concrete. I know there's going to be a satin wall paint somewhere something's just going to be painted white probably. There's going to be a painted metal. I'm going to do this painted hot rolled steel. This one is one that I kind of like, so I'm going to bring that over. And then I probably want that polished chrome. I'm going to guess that'll get used. Brushed stainless steel for appliances. I'll probably use that. I can always go, I'm just sort of pulling these over and I can go back and forth, but I'm just kind of trying to get a sense of what I might need. Concrete floor is something I'll probably have somewhere, I'm guessing. A wood floor is something I might have. And those are all. So that's part one. So then the next thing we're going to do, we've got that taken care of. We're going to assign materials appropriate places within the scene. So the way to do that is I can push down my mouse wheel to go over to this window. And this is my active camera. And it says right there, V-Ray physical camera. And then I can go right here. I'm going to click and drag and just open this up a little bit. I'm trying to keep the proportions of this the same as what I know the final render is, which is about the same as my monitor. So I'm looking at that right there. So if I kind of move my mouse around, I'll get these little tags that'll come up. So that says metal, paint finish, dark gray, matte. So that probably means this. This is painted hot rolled steel. I know it's a little different, but I'm going to guess that as a material, it's going to be pretty similar to this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag and put that into that scene, and that should show up something like that. Then I want to figure out what this is. What is this down here? Concrete panels. So I'm going to say that that's probably concrete wall or concrete floor. They look like they're pretty similar in materials. I'm going to use the wall material. I'm going to use the floor material. Actually, I'm going to go concrete floor here. And that shows up. So that's good. So now I can't see a lot of materials, and it's not letting me pick beyond the glass. So I'm going to need to move the camera around. So what I can do when I'm in this view is push the mouse wheel down, and that pans me around. And that's the best thing to do first. So there I can see I've got some concrete. That actually looks like it should have been concrete wall, huh? So I'm going to go back to this and do concrete wall and assign that to the material. So you can see what's happening. It's assigning it to all the geometry, and that's because we exported it by material. So I'm going to need to do some, let's see if I get to about right here, I can look at these materials. So what is this material? Concrete again. So that's definitely concrete floor. We'll do that. Oh, and that's also the same concrete. Odd. Well, then we should probably just make it all, well, I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to keep it as is. And then we've got some material here. What does this say? Iron cast, iron, glass, stainless steel. So I'm going to use this same material here and put that there. And the stainless steel, I don't think I want to put stainless steel on this. I'm going to use this on that too, on that stainless steel material. Am I hitting it? I don't know if I hit it. I can't quite tell if I'm seeing that little cable rail, so I'm going to zoom in there. And this is my little dolly tool. So if I hold on this, hold my, and go to the bottom one, that moves the target and the camera, and that's what I really want to do. So I'm just kind of zooming in there to see if I can get really close to that. Then I can actually pick it. It's going to let me do it now. Yeah, there we go. So while I'm up here, I'm going to look at what that material is. Finishes interior plasterboard. That's probably going to be that satin paint, right? Didn't I bring that in somewhere? Epoxy? Maybe not. Maybe I have to go get it. I'm going to go get it. Get material. And actually, I'm going to use this smooth plaster material instead. Instead of because it does say plasterboard. So I'm going to use this smooth plaster, which has a little bit more of a texture to it. That's kind of nice. It'll break it up a little bit. And then I'll put that in here. What is this up here? Gypsum wallboard. We're going to call that the same. What is this here? Default wall. Let's say that default wall. I'm going to go get that satin wall paint. Satin wall paint. I'll put that on the default wall. That did some weird things, didn't it? It sort of changed everything. I don't want that. And there, that looks a little better. I don't know why that switched it around, but it did. But anyway, it looks like we're back to normal. Now I want to look at this floor. What does this floor say? Resin floor. So that's where that epoxy. I'm going to do this little epoxy concrete. Epoxy is kind of like a resin, and I'll stick that there. Then I'm going to swing on in here and see what's going on. What is this guy? Interior gypsum wallboard. Let's put that on there. What does this say? Door panel. This is aluminum anodized black. I'm going to assume that that is the same as this, or I want it to be. This is door panel, and I don't know what door panel is, so I'm just going to say that door panel is probably painted white, as is the frame. And then I'm just going to kind of just keep going around and make sure I got everything. What does this say? Concrete cast in place. It's definitely going to be a concrete wall material. So you see how I put this in? It didn't show anything. I can always, in the material, click this little checkerboard and that'll show it, just so I can kind of get a sense of it. This says what? Acetal resin black. So that's like a glossy black paint, not just a not, it's not, so that metal's not going to really work. So I'm going to go and get a material that's a gloss wall paint, or even actually this high gloss lacquer would do it. So that's my high gloss lacquer. I have a fall off map in the diffuse. So in the diffuse, I want it to go to be black. So I'm going to change that fall off to be almost pure black. Almost pure black. Something like that. What does that look like? Kind of funky and weird. I'm not a big fan of it, actually. I'm going to switch that to this gloss acrylic, maybe, or now I'm going to use this ceramic material. Let's see what that feels like. No, don't like that either. Gloss wall paint it is. Yeah, this looks fine. And then I can just change the diffuse color on this guy. That's a lot better. And I'm going to go, in V-Ray, you never want to go pure black or pure white. You never want to go to 0 because it zeroes out the formula. So you kind of want to go like 3 or even 2, something like that. Give it a value of whatever. So I'm going to call it that, and I'm going to put that in there. That's that. What is my sink? What does that say? Chrome. So I've got my chrome right here. Put that on there. And what does this say? It says terrazzo. Terrazzo I don't really have. I might have to make that, but for now, I'm going to put this epoxy on there as well. What does this say? Black glass. I'm going to actually override that a little bit, and I'm going to say that that should be, zooming in here, I'm going to say that that should be stainless steel. So this, I think, should be stainless steel up here. This should be stainless steel around it. I got a couple other materials there that I need to fill in. I'm going to have to work on that. I'm going over here, that is definitely, that refrigerator should be stainless. This little melee range should be stainless, so all of that is coming in black right now, but it'll render as stainless when the time comes. Little black glass pans, I just want to make it go away. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now I want to maybe do a quick test render of this. One of the things that I'm seeing happening is I'm getting a little bit of a moire effect on the top, which we'll deal with later. But this should be it. So then I've got one more material to set here, don't I? I've got this wood material, timber cladding. So I'm going to just use the wood veneer for now. And then like we were saying before, I can just go into this wood material and just change the diffuse map. If you're up here, you can click on this M right here, down the bitmap parameters, and I can change it to another one. So I want to do, let's say I want to do this. You know, I've kind of, or go into the siding, and I want to do a gray washed wood or a dark washed wood, something that's black, with whatever. I'm going to try this first. So there is that, and that's that. So let's see, I'm just moving around the model, make sure I've got everything. What's up here? Roofing asphalt. I think I've got that as a material, I believe. Do I have that in here? I don't, but this is pretty close to it. This is just a simple rubber material, so I can put that in there. And that'll help that. So I'm going to come in here. This says carpet. So I don't really have a carpet material yet. But what I can do, I think what I'll do is I'll take that wood veneer material, slide it down here, rename it carpet, and change the diffuse map to be a picture of something resembling carpet. So I might have to go into, I believe, there is fabric. Yeah, I'll start with a fabric. And there's a carpet displace map in there, which might be a good place to start. It's just a carpet, just a simple carpet. So I'm looking at that now and seeing what that looks like. I'm going to put that in the model and see what it looks like. It might be okay, it might not. I think that'll work for now. It looks like I need to increase the bump map, and we'll probably need to do some other things with this to make it work. But for now, we're just going to call that good. I'm going to go down, go up. This always takes me back up to the parent. I can slide back down. I'm going to turn that bump up to about 100 so that this carpet actually starts to feel like carpet. And then I'm going to hit the render button, and that'll see that's what I got. So now I want to create one other camera just to finish this assignment. One more camera, right? We're saying we've got the UVW coordinates. We adjusted. They seem like they're okay. Creating an interior and exterior camera and move the camera. So I just want to create, I've got one camera here. And so what I want to do is I go to here, select camera, Control C, Control V as a copy. I'm going to call this one my exterior camera. And now I can go here and select that exterior camera and slide it outside. And then I want to go back to that V-Ray physical camera 1, and I want to rename that, and I want to select this camera, select camera, and rename that interior. And there we go. I hit render and I go. I render that one. And then, you know, it's doing its thing. There it is. And then I go to exterior camera. Oh, no, I want to keep my camera there. I want to do this instead. Boom, exterior. And I render that one. And I'm done. That's the end of assignment 2.